Thank you. Item number 11, full planning application for 25 Mountford Drive and adjacent to Sutton Coalfield, and is for the erection of detached dwelling house with new footway crossing, car parking and associated landscaping and boundary treatment, following demolition of existing garage and installation of new footway crossing for 25 Mountford Drive, and there are updates.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. Yes, since the report was prepared, we've received further tree survey information, and as a result of that, what we wanted to do to recommend to members is that condition 13 is removed, and that condition 12 is reworded in a way that we think will offer increased protection for the existing protected trees immediately to the north of the site. So condition 12 would be reworded and condition 13 would be removed. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Are there any comments? Councillor Cornish.
Thank you, Chairman. Well, it's a very unusual site. I think that's pretty obvious. And when you look at the actual design that's portrayed on the wall, that actually looks quite acceptable. However, when you literally go into the road and take a closer look, which is not quite so obvious for what we have here in front of us, it is an extremely tight squeeze. It's a very modern development, which on its own perhaps you think is acceptable. When you put it in the character of the rest of the semi-detached, very different properties there, it does completely take away from the character of the area, as well as the comments now on removing all those trees. I actually believe that the site will be well and truly overdeveloped. I don't think it fits in there at all. It is a very, very difficult one to do. I know we need more properties desperately. However, this really needs to be rethought so that the character is not destroyed within that road.
Thank you. We have Councillor Williams.
Paragraph 4.2, the list of objections. The last one said, planning officers have advised previously that the conversion stroke extension of a neighbour's garage is unlikely to be granted planning permission as it would amount to an overdevelopment of the site. If that is the case, how come that was likely to be refused, whereas this building is far bigger, is being approved? I mean, that's if that objection is correct in its information.
Councillor Moore.
Thank you, Chairman. I just want to echo the comments made by Councillor Cornish. I mean, I accept that, there is a need to build houses, and to be honest, I think that the site in question probably could accommodate a house quite easily if it was in keeping. My concern is what we have here is something which is very much, not in keeping with the area. Just looking at the pictures up there, you can even see on the schematic the building, an existing building next to it, and how very different it is. And when we're going into cul-de-sacs and building on, gardens or, vacant plots of land which are left lying around for whatever reason, then we should build something which is in keeping with the cul-de-sac, not sticks out like a sore thumb.
And Councillor Beecham.
Somewhat along the same lines, I think it's a nice shape, but the cladding and the appearance of it makes it look so different from everything else which is there, and that it has to live alongside. And is that cladding on the top wooden, plastic? Is the side cladding rendering? It's all completely out of character with the particular spot. It's an awkward little spot, I know, but it looks so peculiar and like a tree in a mushroom field. It's out of character with what the rest of the surroundings are.
Well, thank you. Would still like to make some comments?
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. One or two views, and I sort of expected there to be different views perhaps about the design of this one. I think if we take a step back, clearly it is an unusually shaped site, and clearly the architect has had to design the layout of the site to actually accommodate that, and we think that's done in a fairly clever way, actually, to achieve a garden size that's acceptable and to achieve off-street parking. In terms of the design, yes, I understand the owner is an artist, actually, who would occupy the property. The design itself, and clearly, if you again take a step back and you look at the quality of design of the existing housing, because what we're trying to achieve is an uplift in the design quality of the area. And I think it's fair to say, looking at the photographs, that you have, or a photograph of the existing properties in that street, they aren't of particularly high quality. We believe this is a better quality property in terms of the design of the house. We've asked for some fairly subtle modifications to the design so that it's better in scale with the existing housing, which we think it is. And yes, it looks different, but there are elements about the design that we feel reflect in the way that you'd normally expect the existing character of the housing, even though we don't think that's of particularly high quality. The materials will, in terms of bricks, reflect the brick type of the existing house, but we feel there is some scope for somebody to provide an element of render or other materials. And we don't think because some things is different in some respects that it's automatically unacceptable. And actually, I think we think that this will improve the quality of the street scene rather than detract from it in terms of the qualities of the existing housing. I think there were one or two other issues raised. I think Councillor Cornish mentioned briefly trees. Just to reassure members that this proposal wouldn't affect any of the existing trees which are on the immediate north of the site, which are within the school grounds. So we've been careful to make sure that through the tree survey information, none of the existing trees would be adversely affected by this application. So I think overall, we feel that this isn't a proposal in terms of its design, but would be out of character with the street to an extent that would justify certainly refusing planning permission.
Thank you. Any further, Councillor Williams?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I did ask about 4.2. The one of the objections was that an extension to a garage was told, that person was told they wouldn't be accepted, and this one is much larger and is. Could you clarify that?
Yes, sorry, Councillor, I didn't pick that up, did I? I've checked that myself, but I can't find any evidence to suggest that that was ever the case. So no, we don't think that is the case. But notwithstanding that, of course, we'd still have to consider this application on its own merits separately. But we can't find anything that suggests that that was the case in terms of previous advice given. Thank you.
Thank you. If there's no further comments, the recommendation is to approve subject to conditions. Can I see those in favour, please?
6.
And those against? 3. And abstentions? 1. Okay. Move on to, thank you for that. Now item 11.